Hey, it's Nurse Tanya from Awakened Wellness. How are you today? I am having the best day. I'm on a roll. I had the news crew from Williston, North Dakota here today to shoot a little commercial for my new space I opened here in March. So I do brick and mortar business in my tiny little community of Cindy, Montana. So it's so small. We don't have a Walmart. We do have a McDonald's and we have a few stoplights, but it is a really small community. So, in order for me to reach more people, my web business, or my Facebook, my TikTok, this YouTube, all of that is really important to me because of the sample size of population. So I am really I'm expecting big things to happen. I'm expecting things to really take off. With that commercial will really help. I just need people to know that I'm here because I know there's a lot of people out there who are looking to take control of their health. But that's that. So that's what's going on in my life. What's going on in your life? Yeah, this computer of mine. See, I know I'm looking around goofy, like I just can't tell for sure where I should be looking to feel like I'm making eye contact with you. So that looks better. So up there, not at my picture. All right, I can do that. So I am launching some DIY programs. So I'm a Cellcore practitioner. Cellcore is by far my favorite product line. I carry quite a few things. I do work with chronically ill people with Lyme disease, with mold, and all that good stuff. But that is not, absolutely not what I'm talking about today. That is not what the DIY programs are for. The DIY programs are for my do it yourself crowd, is for people who are basically pretty well off. They just want to be healthier and they want to continue to be healthy throughout their whole life. They want to prevent illness instead of trying to roll back illness, right? So, and I love that you can't find Silkor on Amazon, or you shouldn't be able to. If you are finding it on Amazon, I would really question it. But I get my heart aches for people that can't just easily get these products. It is like two sided. It's because um, a lot of people really need guidance because the Cellcore products are so amazing for those chronically ill, but they're also good for you who just want to stay well, right? So they have got a really good 4-step program that's called the Foundation of Health. So it's exactly what it says it is. The normal, healthy people just, it's a great detox and parasite cleanse that if you, even if you've done out of the box off Amazon, whatever, parasite cleanses, I promise you haven't done anything as deep and with the quality as what Cellcore is going to do it. Um, I could go into a lot of product education, but I don't want this video to be that long. What makes them really unique for me is that they're manufacturing, they're in the US, they're growing by leaps and bounds, but they're a smaller company, they're a newer company, they have such big hearts, and it was founded by doctors who were doing these things in their practice, and they needed the products to do it. So the DIY package is going to come with some guidance. On my website, I've got a vault set up, like an education vault. So if you want the information, the extra products information, tips and tricks and all that, it is there for you. That's included with that DIY like coaching. You can get on group coaching call with me once a month. We do on the full moon just because that kind of keeps us keeping track of what we're doing. And I'm on mountain time, so it's going to be at noon my time. You will get notifications and emails throughout the month. I will send out an email that will be kind of like, hey, you should be moving into step 2. These are things that you might have going on. These are things that you might see. I'm always available for a extra consultation. If you're stuck, you just schedule a DIY consultation and I'll help work you through those problems. But for most people, if you get on the group coaching or if you go and watch some of the history, some of the old videos that will be in that education vault, then you can kind of work through it and you can get your problems pretty well solved. This I have handy here is the Jumpstart kit from Cellcore. Step one is a Jumpstart, and then there's 2, 3, 4. So the products sometimes are a little bit different from kit to kit. Right? Oh, I like that. It's not backwards. Cool. So kale support for your kidneys and liver. It's going to gently open your kidneys and liver. Biotoxin binder, excellent. This one I totally recommend staying on for maintenance because we don't live in a bubble. Like the more I learn about how toxic our world is, how toxic our food is, how depleted our food is, like you could become somewhat paranoid. Like it just makes me think of the movie Bubble Boy. Have you seen the movie Bubble Boy? Oh, like I went back and tried to watch that a couple of years ago, and I was like, "Oh, I can't believe I let my kids watch that." Like, but the mom who's just worried about the whore next door. Well, and she's just paranoid, and that's why she wants her kid in a bubble when there really wasn't anything wrong with him. Like the mom was just paranoid. Well, part of me kind of gets that mentality. The more you learn about chemtrails and Roundup in our water, in everything, the toxins in our food, the nanoparticles in our food, all that stuff, like, so I'm pretty level-headed, but some days it's about all you can do not to become overwhelmed and freaked out. And if I could market a bubble, I'm pretty sure I could sell them like hotcakes. Anyway, biotoxin binder, I consider that my bubble. So on maintenance, I'm gonna stay on biotoxin binder because I like to eat out. I like to go on vacation, and life is just dirty. I struggled for years trying to crawl out of a hole with my wellness. I don't want to go back. So there's maintenance. So that's kind of the point to my story is a lot of people want to say, am I going to be on these products forever? No, you don't have to be, but you can easily go backwards. You can easily lose your health again. I mean, again, or I'm in this rural community in Montana. I don't have organic, clean food. So what am I going to do about it? I'm going to stay on biotoxin binder. It is a crutch, but we need crutches to maintain our health in the world in which we live in. We just do. Where was that? BCATP. This is another one. Maintenance, a great product to stay on. Its main job is mitochondria. So its main job is your cellular energy. Most things, sickness and disease, are rooted in parasites, but as well as mitochondrial dysfunction, like low hormones. Again, that's another video. It's going to get too long. But the mitochondria is so important. We've got to take care of our mitochondria if we expect to live a long and healthy life. And then the C2 minerals. This is a phenomenal product too for maintenance. Absolutely. We recommend distilled water. So your minerals are important with or without distilled water. This is also really good for busting up biofilms. So get them busted up to keep them busted up. Like this Jumpstart kit is all good for maintenance, good to stay on like for life because we have to balance these things out. Again, this DIY package is for the basically healthy people. It's to keep you from getting autoimmune disease, to keep you from becoming chronically ill. Like, I just am so proud of young people who are smarter than I was at their age, who are recognizing these things, who are spending money to do things differently. Like, I could totally get off on a tangent about health insurance. and I'm going to just for a minute. So I absolutely don't believe in health insurance. I don't believe in most insurance. It is a fear model. Health insurance is fear. They're selling fear. Like, well, what if you get cancer? What if you get diabetes? What if you get over in a car wreck? What if I don't? Right? What if I don't? And my husband, he was a little freaked out when I had a job as a nurse, working for the county and had benefits. Still, his insurance was costing me $600 a month out of pocket. When I quit that job to go out on my own and venture out into the world of self-employment again, um, I just told him we're not going to do insurance because for me, I can't imagine what would have to be wrong with me that I would go to a doctor for help. Like, I just wouldn't do it. Like, maybe if I had a raging tooth infection, or I'm not sure what would have to be wrong with me. Oh, but if I got in a car accident or something major happened, the hospital will take payments. Like, out of pocket, even shitty insurance would have been probably at least $1,200 a month. My husband has asthma on his record, so that dings him pretty good when you're going to do private insurance. But still, like, he was scared. But like I told him, if you need to have a rescue inhaler that you can get a hold of, then once a year you go and get it filled and you just pay cash. Like, that's not that big a deal. Just pay cash, right? Where was I going with this? Oh, so you figure $1,200. So then,
Hello.
hi, how can I help you?
I don't know if you've heard, but NBU asked for another pretty big electricity rate increase. So we're just going around to let people know that the Public Service Commission, who makes the decision on the rate increase, is coming to Sydney next week. And
So
just,
there's like a format or something or a meeting?
yeah, there's a listening session. So basically, they want people from the community who are impacted by the rate increase, which is all residential and business,
Okay.
to tell them how it would impact them. And this is just more information about the rate increase and what's going on.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So I was recording. I'll see if I'm intelligent enough to edit that out later. I just had somebody walk in. What was I saying? Oh, insurance. So I figure if our insurance was going to be $1,200 a month to live in fear of what ifs, then I should figure my budget to buy good food and supplement our body $1,200 a month, right? I will insure us. And I'm pretty sure that I can do a better job, right? So that's where I'm at with insurance. And I know it sucks because I get so many people that would love to do testing, that would love to do supplements. And I know a lot of people absolutely can't afford it. And, they're living paycheck to paycheck. They have free government insurance. So the government will pay for Prilosec, or the government will pay for metformin, but the other choices to undo it will cost you something. It will cost you dearly. So my heart goes out to people, and I don't mean to sound like like I don't care, because I do care. But I can't fix it alone. The only way that anything is going to change is if we stop buying the drugs. If we stop, that's the only way it's going to change. But then we have to stop eating at McDonald's. We have to stop buying toxic food. We have to stop letting all these people that are manufacturing this stuff think that it's okay. It's consumer driven. So the only way any of it is ever going to change is when we, as the masses, do things different. Like, we start buying different products. It's totally commercially changed. But even if you're super just flat broke, fruit is expensive, but so is junk food. And most people just completely overeat. Like, fasting is an amazing way to heal your body, and it's free, and it will definitely reduce your grocery bill. But most people don't want to hear that because they think that you're taking something away from them. When you tell people to go off sugar or go off candy or quit baking cookies for your grandkids, that is not loving them. That is destroying their cellular health and their immune systems. That is adding to their bad behavior. But people just don't think like that. Our society we have been conditioned, we have been programmed to move towards death, to move towards things that are not bringing us life, that are lowering our frequencies. So, sorry, I know I'm hard to follow. I'm rabbit trail, but let's bring it back. Enough about the insurance. You make up your own mind. And I know you have to be brave. You have to be freaking brave to just say, no, I'm not paying that insurance bill. I'm not going to do it. Emergency rooms have to take payments. That's all there is to it. So these Cellcore products, the DIY that you're going to get on, that you're going to do to improve your health, to improve your family's health before you all fall apart. We do have kid dosing, so absolutely, if you can get the products in your kids, it's good for your kids, and it is highly recommended. The kits come with these super nice direction cards. There's the camera. Look at that. Just all laid right out for you. It tells you when to take it and how to do it. If you are sensitive for some reason, or you tend to have reactions to products, then honestly, you're not a DIY person. If you get reactions when you take vitamins, or like if you've tried to take fulvic acid and you got like a fluish or Herx reaction for it, you're just not a DIY person. You need to work with me or another Cellcore practitioner one-on-one. That means you're sicker than you think you are. That means you're way more toxic than you think you are. And you're not a candidate for DIY. Not that you can't try it, but it just won't work out good for you. And then you, my friend, will make Cellcore look bad. And we don't want that. People who are candidates are not candidates. Pregnant or breastfeeding are not candidates for a foundational protocol detox. If you're pregnant or breastfeeding, you can do a few of the products. You can do like the mitochondrial support, a little biotoxin binder, but we don't kill parasites when you're pregnant or breastfeeding. Especially your breast milk, it is your detoxing. It's lymphatic. It goes right into your breast milk. So we just don't do that. In pregnancy, we just don't do that either because there's too many unknowns. Honestly, it's just too much of a liability. So none of us will get into that. If you are going to buy products from me off my website, off my DIY section, off that kit, I'm going to make you click the box telling me, 1, you are above 18 years of age, and 2, you are neither pregnant or breastfeeding. I'm going to give you, it sounds harsh on my website and it probably turns people away, but I'm all right with that. I'm going to give you a warning that these products, those DIY, the whole kits, they're not refundable. They cannot be reshelved once they have gone to your house. They're not refundable. And the success of these programs depends on you. It depends on you taking it. It depends on you modifying your diet. You probably will lose weight, absolutely, but it will be because you're changing your lifestyle. So I absolutely do not guarantee anybody's success in anything because everybody lies, for one thing, and people's follow through is super poor. You've got to have some stick-to-itiveness. And I am preaching to the choir. I've been on this journey for years, and I'll fall off the wagon. I'll open the sugar door. I'll kind of, take a vacation and eat whatever I want. And then I'm putting back the pieces. So I am a health coach. And I don't mean to be a hypocrite. I'm just human. So I'll go to the movie and eat the popcorn, And I know the bad oils are not good for me, and I know I'm gonna have to clean them up, and it is kind of a crutch. So then I'll take some heavier dose of advanced TUDCA for the next week. So I'm gonna spend more money because my taste buds I chose to eat the movie theater popcorn. But that is where the whole DIY concept comes in, is that if you're basically healthy and you're going to do those things, like even 80/20, we've got tools to support your liver to clean up the bad oils that you just ate. And like say, we kind of and we say everybody be cautious if you're eating sushi or fish, like you have parasites. If you're eating pork, you definitely have parasites. But if you want to eat that, if that's just something that you're going to do, you want to continue eating sushi, then you probably should stay on para 4. And you can do both. You absolutely can do both. All these choices. And we can help you do what you want to do without losing your health. Chronic disease, dis-ease in your body comes from your environment. Our bodies are a product of the environment that we expose them to. So our toxins, our traumas, our thoughts, things we eat, things we speak, things we breathe in, everything you put on your skin matters, everything you breathe matters. And again, I don't have a magic bubble like Bubble Boy's mom to keep you all in. We live in a dirty world. The EMF frequencies, and that is just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. The technology, the nanoparticles, all of that we can't run from it. We absolutely cannot run from it. There aren't enough desert islands for us all to run and live in. So we have to have tools. If you're in the rebellious category that did not take any jabs, you know how hard we have to fight. Like if you eat commercial cereal, commercial foods, and those nanoparticles, Cellcore, the radiation. I live in a community where there's so much fracking, and my clients test so high that Vired Chem binder. And again, these are comprehensive patients. This is not for you if you're a DIY. I guess I will throw out, if you have bought a DIY kit for me and you're on a DIY program, or you're not, like they're separate things. I do testing. Let me grab my tester quick. So I do scanning, and I'm just gonna go off on this a little bit. This is not in the DIY program, but I do have other programs. If you want to be a client, then that we can do that. You can also do scans and not be a full client, right? I know, I'm confusing. So I use a Quest 4 scanner. It's a bioenergy scanner. Let's see, this is the right way. And when what made me think of this is what I said, in our area with all the fracking, so many people, we must have a lot of radiation in our water. So a lot of people test for the Vired Chem binder before the biotoxin binder. So that's out of order. The Vired Chem binder comes months later. We start with the biotoxin binder. But when I am working with a client one-to-one, not DIY, this is what we do. We narrow it down to what your body needs. And if your body wants the Vired Chem binder first, then that's what we do. I do this from a distance. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. I've got a little packet. I don't have one handy, but I can send it to you, or you can just use like a 4x4 or a cotton ball, and you're just going to chew it and get it good and full of saliva. And then you're going to send that and some hair to me. It just stays here with me. I put your sample on here, and then I have to add a couple of extra probes. But then I can scan your DNA from wherever you're at. And we can customize your process. And then I go through products, whether it's Cellcore, Standard Process, Designs for Health, Energetics, a few other products that I commonly use, and then we see what your body wants. I also do like a weight loss scan, scan your DNA, and it will say, your body will tell you, I would appreciate this kind of exercise or this kind of food. And so that's super helpful. We do an emotional scan, and then and make imprints. I'll grab one. So after I've done your scan, the software tells us balancing items. The software will tell us, well, they could use, let's say, the emotional scan. They could use field of flowers, or there's a negative emotions of anger, or this or that or the other thing. And then it'll give us energies to balance those things. So you're going to try to neutralize those negative emotions in your body. I put the blank on here, and the software uploads the frequencies into this bottle, and then I snail mail this to you, and I will mail you back your DNA sample as well. If you would prefer, well, I don't want to keep the DNA samples, because even like if you called me in 2 weeks and said, hey, do you still have my sample? Will you run a liver scan for me? I could, but we're different people from day to day. So I don't like to run old DNA on a current situation, right? So if you want to be a one-on-one client and do the scans and like do a package, what I do is send out, so we would do at least a minimum of one scan a month, and I'll send you enough materials to do that. Or if you think you can just handle it without my little convenient kit, that's fine too. But we'll do that. Package comes with the emotional detox scan, as well as a check-in scan once a month. So as you're shifting, I just do 4 months. I don't make a person commit to any longer than that. And then we reevaluate. Maybe you need more care after 4 months, or maybe you really are feeling like you can just coast through things. And however you want to do it, or maybe you completely fell off the wagon after 2 months, and that happens more times than not. If I could sell stick to itiveness, like people, I know, I understand it's hard to stick to these changes. It's uncomfortable. So I'm here to coach you either way. The DIY, which is what I kind of set out to talk about more in this video, in that package, you get access to my monthly coaching calls. So right now, I'm doing on the full moon. I'm on Montana time, Mountain time, so noon my time, and you can get on that call. I can take up to 100 people, so that is just starting to grow and take off. We get together, question and answer. I really love it if people will email me or text me their questions a couple of days ahead of time. So if there's something that I don't know the answer to, I have time to research it. You will have access to those old calls. I call it a vault. On my website, there's an education vault. So in that vault, we'll have a ton of like tips and tricks and more information on Cellcore products and how to use them, like coffee enemas, sinus rinses, like all sorts of things. And sometimes, depending on the package that you bought, I've got a second vault that's got like even exercise, meditation, and it's got some little video lessons that you can really come full circle and work on all the aspects of your health, your stress, and the whole big picture. What else is in the DIY? The follow-up emails, and then you can also have a limited like amount of pictures that you can send me to help you walk through and analyzing things, like if you have interesting things that come out of your stool or out of your sinuses or things like that, or if you get a rash or if you got something weird that crops up, like in month 3 or whatever, you'll get an email where I'll kind of go over, okay, like you're going into month 3. In month 3, sometimes people, month 3, month 4, sometimes your lymph system will start to feel a little bit backed up. You might, if you're gaining some weight, then we need to address your lymph system. If you're not pooping, like all of a sudden, we need to address that. Month 3, especially with the para 3, some people will get a lot of bloating and uncomfortable as things, they'll get die-off, like, and how to work through die-off symptoms. So that is all like information that you can access. So it's kind of me giving you that information without having to say the same thing to 100 people over and over again. I just get to say it and record it, and then you get to go dig for the information on your own. Also, I give people in that DIY on my website, there is an option to buy samples. So, because the products are not returnable. And that can be scary. If you haven't used any of them before, I get why you don't want to buy 4 months worth of product that you have not tried without trying it. So if you want the samples, then I will send you samples of the Jumpstart Kit. And I don't get crazy with it. I'm just going to send probably 2 to 4, it depends on what bottles I have open, of each pill, so you can try them and know whether or not they're going to upset your system for some reason. You can also just buy the DIY subscription and education and no products. And if you do that, then I will just give you my access code to go to Cellcore's website, and you can buy the products without buying that big kit. You can just buy what you need. And say if you have already done the foundation somewhere else and you lost access to your products, or you've tried a few things and you are on maintenance, or you know what you want, then there too, you have access to Cellcore's website, and you can buy what you want. And that doesn't go away. That's evergreen. That's for lifetime, unless you lose your password or you don't know what email you used or something like that. That I don't have a back end to, I can't help you with. But and then you have access. So if you want your husband on the products, if you want your kids on the products, you have access to order whatever you want. You do have to commit to my subscription. That's a $200 fee. You do have to commit that far, just so I know that you have help if you need it. If you get stuck, you have a place that you can go to get your questions answered, a place that you can go for coaching. So, but those, again, this whole thing, I'm talking to you who wants to prevent chronic illness, not the chronically ill. This DIY is for you to stay healthy, not for you to pull back. If you're on medications, if you're on a bunch of medications, high blood pressure, that's fine. Maybe even diabetes, type 2, whatever, that's fine. That still can be DIY. But not if you have cancer, not if you have autoimmune disease, or more serious things. That's comprehensive. You and I need to sit down. We need to talk one-on-one. So you are welcome to like and share this video. Everybody says hit the like, or whatever it is on YouTube that everybody says hit like and subscribe so you get notifications. That would be great. If you subscribe to my channel, then you will get notifications when I do those monthly lives. And you're welcome to get on those, even if you haven't. Right now they're open. I'm not that busy. I'm just starting out in this online, whatever. If you're watching on replay and a couple of years have gone by, then I got to tell you, I plan on being busy. That things are going to change. So right now, though, if you just subscribe to my channel, you'll get a notification of when I do those live group events, and you will be able to jump on, even though you haven't purchased any products or tried anything. You're still welcome to jump on. at this point. That might not be true. Like I said, later on, that might not be true. But I'd love to hear from you. What I love about the group coaching is that I just love to learn from other people. We are all individual. We're all bio individuals. So, um, you know, coffee enemas work great for most people. Maybe they don't work great for everybody, but we can talk about that. So many people, as you're going through the cleanup, it really hits your bladder. Like your bladder gets so much better, but you can go through some stages where you're like, dang, I think I got a UTI going on. I think I have a bladder infection. And you probably don't, but sometimes we do add an extra product. Sometimes we'll add the D-mannose to help because most UTIs are E. coli, and the majority of them can be taken care of with D-mannose. And especially that para 3 can really start to mess with your bladder a little bit. But that's because we have biofilm and we have parasites in our bladder. Most bladder problems are not mechanical, they're not physical, and it really wasn't because you had 4 babies. Like, it's bacterial, it's an issue. So things do happen in your body, like things that you weren't expecting, and that's what those group calls are so great for. I might not have experienced it, I might not have the answers, but maybe somebody else on the call will be like, oh yeah, or the weird skin rashes that can really start to happen to month 3, month 4, and that is a sign of lymph stagnation. Your skin is an excretory organ, so that means that your bowel and your kidneys weren't as open as you thought they were. And I should mention that kind of, if you have eczema or chronic fungal yeast infections, skin rashes, you kind of are a comprehensive client. You probably need some one-on-one coaching because that you got some stuff backed up. We don't have skin rashes, like that's not normal. If your skin is a reflection of your gut, and there's a little bit more serious things going on there than what you probably realize. So I should maybe even update my website too if you have skin rashes. You're not a DIY client, because in the comprehensive protocol, we do use a lot of the same products, but comprehensive, for a sicker person, you're going to go through each step for 60, sometimes 90 days to get those things cleaned up. So it takes a lot longer and it is a lot more expensive, and you need one-on-one guidance. I really, I'm studying quantum muscle testing. So between the quantum muscle testing and my scanner, and I'm not against doing physical labs. It's even cool that, I will say that too, if you're on a DIY even program, you can go to my website and you can order at home lab kits. So it's really cool, especially if your significant other or somebody doubts that this will work. Well, you can get a home kit, a urine kit that will test your toxins. So you can see how much glyphosate, you can see mold toxicity, you can see environmental, heavy metals, all sorts of toxins. And you can do that urine test before you start your foundational program, and then do it again after. And you can see that those products work. That's partly how we know as practitioners that they work, because we do the testing. We see the difference. Do you have to do that? You don't. You absolutely don't. Myself, I did the test, but I have never retested. I really should retest. But even me as a practitioner, it's a lot of money. And, I just get a little bit cheap sometimes. But if you're interested in testing, go through my website. You just have to find the lab test button. And even a Dutch test, a lot of people are familiar with Dutch tests. That's a great test to do whether you're male or female, but especially if you're female. It helps you know where your pathways are at. You're way before cancer ever happens in your body. It is going wrong, your hormones are going wrong in your liver and in your colon, so that you have access to the Dutch test. And there are two, I give you access. On that one, I do have a consultation fee attached, but the other ones I don't. The information is just yours. If you want more help, more guidance going over those results, then you get together with me, or you get together with a practitioner of your choice. Maybe you've got somebody in your hometown that you can go follow up with, but maybe you don't want to make the appointment until you know there's the problem. And that's kind of how I am. It's like, God, you don't want to spend all that money just to find out that it's nothing. So there's that testing is a great option. I really love the Vibrant Wellness stool test. Their results are great and pretty easy to read. Even where your bacterias are off, they'll kind of tell you supporting bacteria or supporting herbal remedies. And those I can easily give you access to a full script account where you can go find those yourself. So again, DIY, there is a lot a person can do on your own. I don't believe that you can make a big mess with any of this. If it goes wrong for you, it's mostly going to be like that you didn't think it did anything, or it didn't work. And if that's the case, then you probably could have used a little bit more guidance. Or if you start the products and you're like, oh, I just feel terrible, like this is making me feel like I have the flu, then friend, you are just way more toxic than you thought. And if that's the case, then you just reduce your dose to half the dose and see if that does it for you. If not, then like this list, it's kind of order of importance. If you're sensitive, and then you're just going to stop everything and you're going to go and you're going to do the CT minerals for a week until you know it's all right. And then you're going to add the next one and add the next one and add the next one. And you just keep doing that. And I know people get scared when the products make them feel funny, or if they get funny heartbeats or something like that. And it does happen. It can happen, especially if you have mold in your body. So sometimes when you get weird reactions, then it's like, okay, well, I hate to see you just quit. Let's test, let's dig in. But that's when you're no longer a DIY candidate. You need help. So what else can I tell you? The main thing is I would love it if you like and share and subscribe. And let's talk in the future. You can go on my website and you can book a free 10-minute consultation where I'm going to keep it to 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. That's it. I don't want to hear your whole story. Like, we're not going to be on the phone for an hour. We're just going to answer some quick questions and see if we're a good fit. I'm going to tell you, I am a little bit blunt. I'm a little bit harsh. I cuss a little bit every now and then, but I am a strong Christian. So I am this hypocritical mix of all things, right? I just am. I am still trying to practice what I preach. I will always be transparent with you. I will always be honest. And I'm always going to be real. And sometimes I'm probably going to hurt your feelings. Sometimes you might hurt my feelings, and that's okay. If I am still learning to take constructive criticism, like we all need that. We all need that to grow, to learn, to expand our future. So I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to hear your story. And whether it's through DIY, through the group calls, or if we work together one-to-one, I'm really proud of you. I'm proud that you want to take control of your health. I'm proud that you're going to raise your family and you're going to be more educated than I was. I'm actually jealous. I wish I could be 20 again or 30 again and know what I know now. Dang, things would be different. Things would be so different. So if you have a young family, and my heart goes out to you, raising kids in the world that my generation, the generation before me set up, like past generations, we set you guys up for failure. Like we really did. So you're going to have to be strong. You're going to have to be a strong voice. Your kids are going to have to be strong. They're going to have to know right or wrong, and they're going to have to know yuck from health. They're going to have to raise their frequencies. So, and it's going to be expensive. That's why if we treat you, we need to treat your whole family. And that's where this DIY thing comes in. You need it. You need it for your kids. You need it for your whole family. So, God bless you.